Well, so because of my shoulder, I've had lots of time to watch TV during the day, and I have I don't know, Nightmare Olive Garden thing I stumbled across as a result of this.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm actually watching TV and not like my finally selected, just like these are the 8 shows I want to watch. I have to watch ads now, meaning I am now aware that Olive Garden has once again like summoned forth their like trickster god that creates their entree items for them, and he has a new kind of fuck you to humanity going out there, and it is this like limited. It's called like lasagna festival they're running or something, and it's just their shit tier lasagna with another pasta dish just dumped on top of it.
What?
I couldn't make it up if I tried. Like, and they push it up. It's like, the Italian tradition of lasagna. I'm like, I don't think the Italians like bake a lasagna and then dump like an entire meal's worth of meatballs on top of said lasagna, or worse, add like an extra layer of just like tortellini or some shit. It'd be like if you made lasagna in like I'll call it a 4x inch by 4x inch square, and then dumped a like bowl of like angel hair spaghetti on top of it with other sauce and other stuff that goes in that. That's what they're pushing now.
What? Wow. Well, why would they add? What kind of shit are you watching?
Like, this was just normal TV, and so the best part, because I'm on like tons of medication right now, the first time I saw it, I thought it was like a hallucination or something, and then the same ad happened like 3 or 4 times throughout the day, and I'm like, oh no, this is a real thing. Someone sat down and said, we're making this.
Oh, what beast of a thing are they doing?
I told you what they're doing.
I know. It's just I'm trying to comprehend how that works. Like, lasagna already has a lot of pasta.
Yeah, it does.
It quite a bit. It has layers even. If my anatomy of pasta is still accurate,
one might call lasagna the pasta squared of pasta.
Yeah, and then now they're just dumping more on. Is it on top of it or inside it?
Literally on top of it. Like, I think it's as lazy as like I don't know how those places make their food, but it's like I'm gonna make some real generalizations. Like undo the vacuum sealing on lasagna, cook that at the same time, undo like chicken Alfredo packaging, and just make that next, and then dump that pan on top of the other one. And you know what causes this to happen, right, Alex?
What causes this to happen?
Food science! Hello and welcome to E3 Eve, as we may call it this week. Welcome to Look at Awesome Cast. This week is obviously our kind of pre-E3 it's our last podcast before E3. It's episode, what's it, 108, Alex?
Yes, 108.
108. Sorry about missing last week. I will explain why that did not happen. It's a pretty good reason as far as I know. But as always, welcome to the Wicked Awesome Cast, the official podcast of Something Wicked Studios. I'm Charlie, aka Mordak, and I'm joined this week by Alex, aka Maeve Online. And let's get into it.
Pre-E3!
I'm flying high on opioids. E3 is literally around the corner the day we're recording this. Like, yeah.
Wait, what? You're riding the opioid train now?
Oxycodone and its opioids. That's what was prescribed for my pain.
Got it.
Did you actually not know that?
Well, I know you were on opioids, but like I thought you were on something different now. I didn't know.
I'm on a ton of stuff now.
Oh boy, I didn't know you were riding the opioid train right now.
Yes. For those who live in America, you're familiar with the opioid epidemic we have. It often starts when you have like a doctor thing happen that they give you painkillers for, and then you realize opioids are awesome. I don't personally find it to be that way because I'm actually semi-resistant to them apparently, but.
Oh, is that what they told you? Like, you're just kind of resistant to it?
Oh, no, we'll talk about this when we get to weeks later. Like,
oh, God.
They actively have like a 50% efficiency on me.
What? Cause science?
Cause science.
Fucking science, man.
Yeah.
What's good science done for anybody?
I don't know. It fixed my shoulder, I think.
All right, never mind. It's done some good. Fair enough. But yeah, we're here. I'm interested to see what we've got going on for E3. There's some fun stuff. Little stuff is starting to get leaked out now. Little things here and there. We'll get into it, of course, when we go
weeks
after our news and all that.
Like, in some ways, it's kind of okay we didn't have a podcast last week because there was like very little to talk about. But then you've got this week that like it's like everything's leaking now. Why is everything leaking?
Yeah, no, everything is fucking just starting to come out. You've got a lot of theory going out. You got some interesting 4chan posts here and there about stuff.
Yeah,
and so it's interesting to see how much of it actually does happen. But technically E3 quote unquote starts tomorrow,
yeah,
or even
technically it starts while we're recording this podcast. Like we will be making predictions about EA while their press conference is happening. So I will go straight from this podcast to seeing how wrong we were.
And EA is one of the ones I'm actually kind of interested in.
Yeah, me too. We should save this all for later. Like,
yes.
Our main topic this week is obviously going to be E3 predictions and stuff. The hype is real, as I think people like you say, Alex.
Yes, the people like me like to say things like the hype is real and swag. Right? Is that what you're expecting me to say?
Maybe it's the drugs talking right now. I don't hate that as much as I used to. It's the drugs, isn't it?
Probably.
The painkillers kill my emotional pain, too. That's a dark thing to say, actually.
Oh, that should be the name of the podcast this week. The painkillers kill my emotional pain, too. E3 predictions.
Yeah, apparently. You just want to get into weeks so we can get to E3 faster?
Yeah, you sound pretty stoked. I want to hear your week.
Yeah,
or your last 2 weeks, rather.
Yeah, so the reason we did not have a podcast last week was the podcast recording day we had kind of set up was the day after I left. I was supposed to finish surgery, so I went in for Thursday of the week before this podcast goes out to have my surgery. I got there at 5:15 in the morning. Surgery started at 7 a.m. I didn't regain consciousness till 5 or 6 o'clock Saturday night.
Shit.
I was supposed to, and that's relatively normal, but I was also supposed to have a 4-hour surgery. I had a 6-hour surgery. I got a 50% bonus time, apparently. And so when they're doing areas like your shoulder, there's I'm not sure how common a practice is. I'm not going to say generally, but my hospital chose to give me what they call the block, which you've had a tooth pulled, right, Alex?
I have not actually.
Ever dealt with Novocaine before?
Nope.
Okay, so those who've done with Novocaine, this will sound silly, but there's a thing called Novocaine that's I'm gonna call it the more typical way to supply, but they give you an injection of something that freezes, stalls, blocks. I don't know what the right word is. The nerve endings and your ability to feel anything in an area. And with Novocaine, you go to a dentist, they just inject into your gums, and it slowly fades after you drink hot water and stuff to help increase blood flow to make it go away. For surgery, they hook you up to an ultrasound machine so they can locate the nerve ending in your shoulder and jam a needle into it to numb it. And I guess blocks typically last between 24 and 30 hours. So I got my block. Maybe it's not quite that long. I don't know. But the initial plan was, hey, you're gonna stay at the hospital overnight, kind of thing, because it can't be that long. But I don't know the exact time, but they last enough time that hospitals that give them to you, if it's a major enough surgery, they go, yeah, you need to stay overnight because eventually this thing is going to kick out, and it doesn't slowly kick out or go away. It suddenly drops off, and all the pain you were supposed to be feeling will come rushing to your brain.
Oh.
And I guess it's an exact enough science that they're yeah, so 3:30 in the morning on Friday, you're going to be in lots of pain, so you're going to stay in the hospital so we can, figure out what your pain management regimen should be. So, yeah. So, at the hospital, pretty normal, pretty, reality was, Thursday after the surgery, I was on, antibiotics, a couple minor painkillers, but because I literally couldn't feel the majority of my left arm, actually all of my left arm, I was on nothing. And around like mid, they're like, okay, so we're gonna give you some low grade oxycodone because we want it in your system before the freeze goes away and like you're first to understand what that means in pain. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Just start like a drug regimen then, and like they said, like 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning, I'm suddenly like I go from like I can make a fist, but I have to like look at my hand to see if I'm making a fist, and like I can flick my fingers on my left hand, I won't feel it kind of thing, to like being painfully aware of my arm. And I have 2 surgery cuts in my left shoulder, and at both of those points, it feels like someone's trying to twist my arm off, and there's an explosion going off inside my arm at the same time. And like I go from like this ain't so bad to I want to die. And it's at this point we figure out that like the dosage they've gave me, which is pretty normal for most people, it's like, yeah, this is like a good starter dosage. Like we'll probably give you more. Depending on your pain, it's like this is the base level. Like I guess if you have new laws, that mean you have to start off at a base level and you work your way up. It doesn't do shit. And so they're like okay, we're gonna give you something. It's called like Direx or something against the D again. I can't remember the name of the drugs. And the description is it's like it works instantly. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. They go, yeah, it should. It's like heroin times 4.
Oh shit.
And I go, oh shit, that's awesome. They go, yes, it is. And it's why you can. It's like we can't. You take this home though. We have to find your pain levels now because like this will wear off in about 4 hours. We understand like you need it right now because the drugs are. We're gonna give you more drugs actually in the time we've done this. So like when it wears off, hopefully you won't bottom out again. So all of my Friday is spent with like, okay, have this super heroin. Here's some more oxycodone. We're gonna wait 4 hours and see what happens. 4 hours later, okay, we're gonna give you the heroin again and more oxycodone. We gave you 5 milligrams previously. Now we're going to give you 15, and 15 was the magic number ultimately.
Got it. So, god damn.
Yeah, I spent all of my Thursday like in like heroin nod out mode, and also like that or like in pain so bad, like everybody in so much pain there's nothing you can do about it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like that for hours on end kind of thing.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Because it's the emotional pain of feeling it over and over that fucking kills you too.
I don't give a fuck about that, oddly enough. Like the doctors were weirdly like surprised by that. It was I'm like it's like I get what you're doing. It doesn't change the fact that my arm feels like it's being twisted off by something. That's what I care about.
Yeah, no, like I know for a while, like I mean the pain is pain, it's there, especially after a surgery, but like
yeah.
I can imagine just the mental anguish of being in pain constantly and not being able to like make it go away also would drive me fucking nuts. So I can imagine your pain. But you said it didn't bother you as much like mentally.
Yeah,
the actual pain.
Like this is not my first broken bone. This is not my first surgery. This is not my first like time in a hospital. It's not my first time on painkillers. Like it's I've been through this enough times where I get how it works, and it's just the pain part that pisses me off. And it's one of those ones where we now have rules in the U.S. It's like they should have probably started me off at 15 millimeters, 15 milligrams, whatever you measure drugs in, just based on my size alone. But because of the rules, they have to start off low dosage. And it's like, I get it. That sucks. But I get it. Like, you're doing your job. And the issue is, like, it's a scientific process. Like, I think a lot of people forget that, like, healthcare at its base is technically kind of a chemistry and biology real world, like, application of it. Because they're trying to figure out how the drugs in your system, which have known chemical compounds to them, interact with each other and interact with you. And as part of this, they're like, yeah, you apparently are semi-resistant to opioids. That's not a bad thing to be, but it means we have to put way more in your system for them to work. It's like, on one hand, that's bad. On the other hand, you are less likely to get addicted off of these. And, like, you will go through withdrawal, but it won't be as bad as other people's withdrawals.
Oh, well, I mean, that's a plus, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird, like, hey, by the way, you're less likely to get addicted to opioids, but since you're in pain, we have to give you so much more.
No, and they figured this out because, like, the super shot they were giving us instant pain relief, like, just makes people fall asleep and, like, pass the fuck out and get super loopy. And, like, it got me up to, like, perky normal levels. And they're like, you should be passed out. And I'm like, well, I'm not. And they go, Okay, I think we know what's going on. That means.
Oh, so they gave you the super cocktail. They're like, oh,
Oh yeah, I'm on like 7 medications right now. Technically, other ones are like more boring ones where it's like, yeah, we're giving you a blood thinner because that makes the pain pills more efficient, and like everything. It's like they're all. It's this weird like combination of things to manage the pain. But it's like, okay, we're doing this and that and this and this. This combines that way and this does that, and it's like I'm on a nerve blocking agent. Yup, that sounds weird. It is.
yep, that's medical treatment, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I had something like I said. I think I had mentioned before in the podcast, or in previous ones. I had my incident where I had damage on my finger. And
Yeah, you fractured your finger. Yeah, you mentioned that I think last time we recorded.
Yeah. So but I didn't have to take anywhere near as many meds. Like they're just like, here, take this. Was it Vicodin? I'm like, okay. And then like I told you, like the I didn't really have pain, but I could still feel like some of the like the damage in my finger. But it wasn't like painful, so I would tell the doc like, yeah, I know. He's like, no, you shouldn't feel anything. I'm like, oh well, can I do? He's like, just take more. I'm like, what?
No, not downplay your fracture yet again in 2 weeks in a row, but like I have 2 6-inch long incisions across my left shoulder.
I know.
Yeah, and like part of the surgery was them moving tendons and my own muscles out of the way for them and shit like that.
I'm getting like physically uncomfortable just thinking about that. Like, oh.
I know when they explain this to me, I'm like, well, that sounds nightmarish.
Well, I mean, at least you're all right.
Yeah,
and you're getting better. But
yeah,
I'm just thinking about it gets me a little bit like.
It was not great. No.
Well, I mean, it could have been a lot worse, and at least you're better, or at least you're all right for the most part, other than just a shoulder. But yeah, I mean, sounds like it's finally starting to progress.
Yeah, my shoulder is better in so many ways than it was with our last podcast. Like the only good thing, if I didn't have the surgery to be going to for me, was in theory my shoulder would be healed by now, which means it would be healed badly. Like my shoulder is already in a better place, than it was previously in so many ways. It just kind of still hurts. Like, but fun fact, my shoulder hurts so much more after surgery than it did when I broke it.
Well, yeah, because everything's starting to come alive. Like the adrenaline's gone.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it's just unnumbing is what's happening because adrenaline will numb the shit out of you for a good while.
Yeah, I mean, like that entire day, this felt worse than that, but that's beyond the point. Like it's a trip.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
I now
the plus side, it's go ahead.
I also now have a titanium plate in my shoulder and like 4 or 5, maybe 3 or 4, at least 3 fairly nasty looking titanium screws.
You're a bionic man now.
Not bionic, just reinforced, I guess.
Reinforced. That's a good way to look at it, actually. But yeah, well, I mean, I hope you get better soon. Did they give you like an estimate on how long you'll be like in a?
I have, and that's maybe that's the weirdest difference. Like if it's healed on its own, it would be like, yep, it has to heal. I basically extended my heal time by at least a week technically. Like I'm gonna see the doctor the Friday the Friday after E3 starts, the Friday after this podcast goes up, kind of thing, and I may get out of the sling then, but then I have, or I'll be put in a difference, and it's less constricted, less kind of constraining. But after that fact, I won't technically be healed until like October.
Wow, till October?
Because I have like PT and stuff like that to do.
Oh well, yeah, that makes sense. But holy shit, that's a good while for.
It's a fairly major thing. Like I did not realize until I started like trying to move my fingers and stuff that like how much of certain things are linked to your shoulder.
Yeah. Well, it's every day that you don't notice it until it's actually like damaged or hurt or incapacitated.
Yep.
So how bad has that transition been?
I had 2 weeks to get used to it on the previous arm. Like it's one of those things where I still can use my fingers for stuff, and I just can't really put weight on it because that makes it hurt. But like I had 2 weeks of practicing shittily, so I'm a little bit more used to it. But as a result, like I've been playing fucking like iPad games this week because like maybe I could try it. It's more just like anything involving that left arm. Like it gets sore really quickly just from like finger movement too much.
Which
is shitty, but it happens. Like, I can sit or lie down the wrong way and it fucks up my shoulder currently.
Oh, I can't imagine how trying to sleep is going. 'Cause...
So that's kind of the funny part of this. So I spent 2 days in the hospital. I spent Thursday and Friday in the hospital. I got discharged kind of halfway through Saturday when they finally got my pain stuff figured out. And I have an automated lazy boy in my house right now.
Yeah, well,
An automated one, meaning this like it comes with like a control, which means that it can like tilt itself up and can like go up to like here now you can step away from it position.
What?
Yeah, it's dumb, but it's like it's I don't quite live in that thing because I'm not podcasting from it, but like I definitely sleep in it. Like 80% of my time is spent in that thing just because it's the most comfortable thing I own currently.
Got it. Well, I mean, at least you found some way to sleep. I've heard of people like who are just hurt and they can't get any fucking sleep.
Oh, I sleep in like 3-hour chunks. Like, let me explain the average evening for you, and I guess without transition to kind of what I've been up to in a less like surgery-living world. Like, one of my drugs I take at I think it's 9 is my kind of first nighttime dosage, and I take another dosage of stuff at 1 a.m. I can typically sleep from like 9, 10 o'clock to about midnight, and then the stuff starts kicking out, so I spend an hour awake, like replace my ice bag and stuff like that, take my medication, wait about a half hour, 45 minutes, an hour for it to kick in kind of thing, go back to bed, wake up at like 4:30 in the morning, because 5 a.m. is my next kind of time I can take stuff. Like, I sleep in like 3-hour increments, and it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
If I'm lucky.
It's a little, yeah. Well, I mean, it's better than not being able to sleep at all. Like, I know people who, like, can't go to sleep at all, or they're in and out throughout the whole time.
Yeah,
like,
and
not even 3-hour chunks.
Like, and the weirder reality of this, too, is, like, the stuff I'm on, specifically the oxycodone, however you pronounce it, should be making me really sleepy, but because I'm, like, kind of resistant to it, and also trying to taper myself off of it now, because I'm not a huge fan of having opioids in my system, because opioids, like, it's like they should have made me sleep way more than they did, and they didn't.
That's...
Like, I should have been... Part of what happens to you on those is you get super sleepy to a certain extent, especially at the dosage I'm at. So I should have been like, take them, fall asleep 20 minutes later kind of thing. But the fact I'm as functional during the day as I am, it's like, yeah, that's not normal.
Yeah, that's... I was hoping things were getting cheery and better, but it's like...
fine.
Still, that sucks.
It's fine.
Sorry,
not great, but fine.
Well, at least it's on the track to healing. And...
Yeah, it's a process, and I also don't think I can actively measure my progress with, so, like, part of this, I have this silly little exercise I'm supposed to do once an hour, kind of like once every time I remember to do it, where I kind of, like, just lean over something and wave my left arm around like I'm casting some dumbass Harry Potter spell, and first couple days I had, like, a range of, like, 2 or 3 inches in a direction I could move it, and now it's like, no, I can do, like, a 2-foot circle, and I can get, like, all the way up and all the way down from, like, a natural movement. Like, it's the actual improvement is happening, but it's also, like, the biggest thing is, remember when this used to be the most painful thing you'd ever done? You did it, like, 6 times a day? Yeah, now it's like, oh, my shoulder's stiff, I'm going to do my stretches now quickly, because it actively makes it feel better some. But that prevent me from getting a frozen shoulder, which is a whole other nightmare you have to be careful of.
God, that's... Has Jen been helping out with...
Yeah, but she's also had to go to work, so it's been me and Scrump hanging out.
Oh, that's right. Has Scrump accidentally jumped on your arm, or...
I've been real careful not to let her do that yet, but she spends lots of time, like, giving me the murder eye from her, kind of containment area, like, you're home and you're not playing with me. What gives, tall human?
Right. Once it realizes that you're hurt, it's gonna go ahead and try to establish being the alpha and try to knock you down a peg. That's just the way the animal kingdom works.
I can palm my dog still. It does not... It's never going to be the alpha in this relationship.
Well, yeah, you have like a little pug.
Like, this dog is very aware of the fact that 2 times has stepped in front of me while walking, and I have lifted it several feet off the ground without noticing it was there.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least you have like Scrump there to hang out with. What?
Yeah.
So when is your like ETA back to work? Because I know you're just kind of chilling right now at
this upcoming week, so the week that this podcast goes up, reality is my doctor doesn't want me back at work before she sees me again, which initially I was gonna be like, fuck it, whatever, I'll go back when I feel better. But so I was feeling really good for the last couple days, and I don't know what happened yesterday, but I woke up like 2 a.m. this morning, day of this podcast recording. I'm like, well, we're back to like day 2 again. Fuck, I'm in pain right now. Like, I'd been tapering down my meds pretty aggressively, and I'm now back on a full dosage of everything. And I'm like, well, that's a giant step backwards. Fun.
So I guess this is a bad time to ask you if you want to help me move next week.
I can come and look at stuff. That's about it. Like, it's... I'm not exactly useful functionality.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Like, me and Jen could watch your dogs and keep them out of the way for you, but that's about the end of our abilities, and that'll be mostly Jen.
They'll be. But yeah, well, I hope it, hope the pain starts to subside and you start feeling better. Sounds like a shitty journey so far with this. You had, as soon as the accident happened, you just kind of had a shitty start with the bad hospital experience.
Yeah, and that's arguably the most frustrating part of this, is I've essentially kind of doubled, maybe kind of give or take a little bit, how long my recovery should have taken. Like, and every doctor I've talked to, that talked to other doctors, was like, yeah, you had that accident on Saturday, they should have had you in on surgery like that Sunday, if not like Saturday afternoon, if possible. Like, the fact you had 2 weeks to kind of, quote, recover in is bullshit. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of how I understand it.
Well, this hospital was exactly top tier to begin with anyway, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, dude. You got a dealt pretty bad head right now.
Yeah.
I did want to ask you also, by the way, because I'm curious. Do you still have the bike then?
I still have both of my bikes. They're hanging out in my backyard right now.
Oh, okay.
Mocking me.
Just like you look over and they're like, Charlie, hey, how's it going? You know, that shoulder's looking pretty healthy now.
It's not so much that, it's more just they're there and it's like, hey, sup. Didn't think I'd see you here. We're motorcycles. We live in your backyard, Charlie. Yeah. It's more like seeing an ex you'd ever wanted to see again in your life every single fucking day, and they're like, yup, we're still here, and you're like, man. Thought you'd have left by now. Nope.
Still here.
Yep. It is what it is.
Yeah. Are you going to end up keeping your bikes after all this is said and done? Or?
I don't know. I think the answer is probably no. Like, I think the reality was, if the doctor had been like, yeah, you'll heal from this in 3 weeks, I'd have at least been up for more of the conversation with my girlfriend of like, this was a slip and fall injury, but like, no, I went into major surgery and missing lots of weeks of work and was in some real pain because of the surgery and X, Y, and Z extra, where it's like, yeah, I'm probably gonna sell them at this point. Like, it's more of like, it's the, do I still enjoy motorcycles in concept? Yeah. Does this definitely feel like more of a selfish thing that I want to keep them and still ride them, given kind of plans for future and stuff? Yeah. Like, it's gone from like, this could have happened to anyone to, hey, you won't be better till October. That's a long time. Yes, it is.
Yeah. How's Jen feel about the keeping the bikes and all that right now?
It is what it is. The reality is, like, I spend most of my day either passed the fuck out or drugged up, and selling motorcycles takes time.
Yeah.
And, like, part of it's also, like, would you buy a motorcycle from a guy in a sling?
That's a very valid point. I didn't even think about that part.
Yeah, like, I've definitely joked about this some before, but, like, no one buys a motorcycle because they're in a good state of mind. Like, either it's like you're young and dumb, or you're going through something rough in your life. Like, my dad started wanting a motorcycle when he had his midlife crisis and never got one because my mom was like, fuck no. And it totally made sense. 2 kids, etc., etc. And I only got one because I went through a really bad breakup and I had the money at the time. And I'm like, fuck it, we're going to ride a motorcycle. Maybe we'll buy one. I wound up owning one, kind of thing. Like, it's the... But then you've like, oh, who's like not going to like, oh, motorcycles are so cool. Yeah, they are. But no, why? It's like, you gotta be at some real, like, bottom of an emotional well, or, like, freaking out about the fact your life is half over, or some bullshit like that. Like, part of you really has to kind of want to die a little bit to pull the trigger on a motorcycle originally. Or, like, really truly believe you are invincible. Because the logic behind owning a motorcycle doesn't hold up to any scrutiny. Like, the only logic is they're kind of cool.
Yeah.
And like everyone you know, like you buy one, like, oh, I want to buy a motorcycle now. And you're like, no, you don't. You think you do, but you don't.
No, let's stop these crazy thoughts. Come
That's adorable.
here.
You don't want to die, ergo, you don't want a motorcycle.
Sound logic.
Yeah, like I'm pretty convinced it's even a real thing because, like, when I bought my first bike, it was from kind of a giant used motorcycle place, and you had people that looked way less scrubby than I did that were like, oh, you could totally make a big sale off that person, and not a single salesperson was interested in talking to them. And I asked, they're like, why? And they're like, they're never going to buy anything. And I'm like, oh, right. They're happy right now. They don't want it all to end. Got it.
That makes sense, I guess. But
Yeah, it's very weird. Like, it's the, like, I think you were even like, oh, I'll buy a motorcycle. And I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
no, we
Like,
agreed it'd be a Vespa.
yeah, maybe. That's the other way to get into motorcycles. You start off with a Vespa, and then you realize Vespas suck.
Yeah, and then I'm like, fuck bikes. They suck.
Yeah.
And then I'm happy. Go
Yeah.
back to my car.
I did play some video games, though, in the week before surgery and since surgery. Post-surgery, I've been checking out the various Go games for kind of mobile, the Hitman Go, the Tomb Raider Go, and as far as mobile games go, those are pretty cool-ass games.
Really? How does Hitman Go work, for example?
So both games are kind of based off the same principle. Like, all games, they're more puzzle games than anything else. Ever play those board games where, like, trying to get like a car from one side of a map to another by shifting on other cars?
Yeah.
That's kind of this. Like, it's a clockwork game where everything, all your enemies behave very predictably, and you move one square at a time. So, like, you move one square, and another character moves one square, and it's predicted on its path at that point. So it's about kind of learning that path, maneuvering around the path, or like manipulating the path in some way to get you there. The Hitman one is very much kind of a maze, which is cool. The Tomb Raider one's kind of cool because it feels like a Tomb Raider game because you're like the obstacles you're going around. It's got some real kind of heavy puzzle solving it. That's pretty kind of interesting. It's neat. Both are very good games.
I figured the Tomb Raider one would have a lot more puzzles and stuff because
it does,
heavily ingrained in the gameplay anyway.
It does, yeah. It's very puzzle heavy, and the puzzles are they're simple to do, but like some of the puzzles are very hard to figure out.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah, they do a fantastic job of, like, the solution's never obvious. You will replay a map once or twice, probably, give or take, and it's like, and then the Tomb Raider one's pretty straightforward. It's got like collectibles you can tap on, but they're not in the path. They're kind of like look out for them on the side of the screen. The Hitman one, like every single map has like not hidden, like extra objectives where it's like, yeah, you can just get to you can get to the exit, but you can also get to the exit in like 3 moves, or like 13 moves. And there's also a like briefcase or something where it's like, and it's like always it's like get the briefcase or get to the exit in like X number of moves, and it's an added layer of difficulty because both are like way out of your way, or like, yeah, you can't cheese it the way you figured out how to do that now.
Yeah. Huh. I have to check them out. They're for Android, right? Well, I'm guessing Android.
They're for everything
too,
mobile,
right?
so I've been using them on my iPad actually because it's a big thing and easy to balance and stuff.
Well, yeah. It's a bigger screen, which makes it easier for you and all that. So
yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah,
I will have to check those out then. It'll give me something to play when I'm waiting for my internet to get hooked up.
Yeah, they're like I think I bought the Go collection for like $5 off iOS, so I assume there's something similar on Android. I got a third one, and I'm blanking on the name. It's not worth playing. The Hitman and the Tomb Raider ones are the 2 good ones.
The third one that's not worth playing is Pokemon Go.
No, that's a separate one that we're gonna make fun of later.
Perfect.
It has nothing to do with Pokemon Go, FYI. Like, both of these games are made by Square Enix, I think.
Oh, okay.
Like, these are good games at the end. These would be good games on a console, let alone on an iPad kind of thing.
Like the Switch, maybe?
They'd work their touchscreen, yeah.
Well, I imagine like the Go games would be great on a Switch screen. It just makes sense.
Yeah, these games take very much kind of advantage of the fact they're on a touchscreen. Like, I'm not sure to describe them better than that. I did play some more Detroit, though, before I went to surgery, and I don't think that game's a good game.
Really? I've heard interesting stuff about it. Like, I haven't heard anything super negative.
It's very David Cagey.
Well, yeah, we talked about this is like David Cage hard on.
Yeah, Again, I've been playing more as Connor, Kara, and I think the third one's name is Michael or something. That's how much I hate the third one. And uh, Android M, Michael Marcus, whatever the hell his name is, has the worst story of all three. And Kara at one point, like I guess spoilers, finds herself in like the predictable robot murder house. And then when you deal with that, like, at least in my playthrough, just straight befriends one of the robots that was actually trying to murder her previously. It's like, I'll help you. It's like, put that fucker in the ground. He just tried to kill you. But it's like, oh no, we're fine now. And I'm like, no, we're not. Where's press X to stab this dude in the back and leave him in an alley because he just straight betrayed you already once? Like, I guess to use kind of because this game definitely wants to be about slavery and human rights and shit like that. Like, where's the button to kill this fucking Uncle Tom ass character who has been implicit in the mutilation and death and like recapturing and reslaving of numerous awoken androids?
Yeah.
Yeah, the game is pretty as hell. Connor continues to be the best character. Like, maybe that's it. Like, if it was just Connor, I wouldn't have a lot of bad things to say about the game because Connor's cool. It's the other two that are they're weak stories and they're bad stories, and like some stuff just kind of happens. Like, to go back to the let's just talk about, you walk up to this house and immediately I'm like, where's the button not to go in?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you're going in. I'm like, no, I would never go in there. That's obviously the place the slave trappers hang out at. And it was! Like, there's a character who's walking around wearing, like, his hands are literally covered in the blue blood the androids bleed. I'm not talking, like, speckles. I'm talking, like, from his fingers up to, like, halfway up his, like, lower arm, range from, like, dark, I just murdered a fucking robot, to, like, light, this is dried robot blood blue.
Uh-huh.
It's like, dude obviously like ripped something's heart out or something. Why are we believing him? And then she's like, oh, we betrayed you. And I'm like, duh. The dude has literally blue arms from betraying robots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll finish it because I got to know, but like everything that I did not like about the previous games is there, which is a shame because the whole Connor crime scene investigation stuff is cool and does work pretty well. That story could have been standalone, just fleshed out more, and it's fun. It's got some conspiracy stuff woven in, like it's got some stuff going on. Like the other two stories do actively drag down that game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you're switching between multiple characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about it for my week, though. What have you been up to?
I'm getting closer and closer to my move.
Indeed you are.
This is technically I was going to say this might possibly be my last podcast I record in Los Angeles, but no, that is a lie because we will be recording a post E3 just before I head out. So, yeah, last week I went to go check out a couple of apartments and places, and it was interesting. Like, so the first place we went to, we just absolutely loved. Like, this is it. Like, I don't know if you ever walked into a place and it's like, yeah, no, this is it. This is home.
Yeah.
This is where I like it. So
I did that with my house.
Yeah. Mandy and I had that feeling walking into this apartment, like, yeah, no, this is it. And it's a nice little apartment in a nice little town near Portland. It's not exactly Portland per se, but it's nice. It's in the area. So we're like, okay, well, we're really like this one. We'll make sure to fill out the application and all that jazz. They showed us the apartment, so that looks good. And then we're like, well, let's check out the other ones. We had some other appointments, and we went to another one, and it's like, so just for context, the one where we're looking at now, or the one that we ultimately liked, was a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and it was pretty cheap. Like it's affordable, like
That's
really
not bad.
affordable. Yeah, like what is it with water, sewage, and garbage and rent? It's an even $1,000 a month. So
Not bad at all.
no, and it's like 700 something square feet. It's nice and sizable. We get a nice little patio. Like, it's nice. So, we go to check out this other place, and we go to another one, and this one's like across the street from a park. It's really pretty, the park anyway. But like the apartment complex was kind of seedy looking, and we're like, I don't know. But goddamn, if they didn't have a tempting ass fucking offer for their place. It was a 2-bedroom, 1.5 townhome for $995 a month, and it had a washer and dryer in the unit. Like, it's crazy. Like, that was like, damn, that's so good. But now I know why it's so cheap, because this area looks a little shifty. But ultimately we didn't go with that one. But it got like that apartment was nice. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I like the structure a lot, but we also like to be able to go outside and do stuff. And if the neighborhood looks a little meh, it kind of throws it off. But yeah, like I said, Mandy and I had driven up to Portland. I didn't throw that little side note though, but we had left Saturday evening to arrive there just around 10:30 in the morning for our first apartment showing appointment. So we literally got off the freeway and went to go look at apartments. So we did all that, got some food. Like, I loved it. It just reinforced the idea that I'm really excited about moving up there.
Cool.
So pretty stoked about it. Went to go visit my future employers, and they're happy to see me. They kind of showed me around the office a little bit. And then had some dinner with some friends I have up there, and it was pretty nice. Like I said, it's just, the atmosphere is totally different, which is kind of interesting, and I'm really excited about it. But I'm also like a little bit nervous because like I'm going to be moving really far away from family, so it's a little bit like, so it's starting to settle in a little bit. At first I was like, yeah, it's cool, and then like it slowly starts to sink in. But I'm still super stoked about it. I'm excited, and yeah, so I've already been scoping out internet, and apparently I can get gigabit internet in my apartment complex.
Man.
So. How
much will it cost you?
Like $80-$90 a month.
Man.
Yeah. I don't even know if I want that much, but it's nice knowing the option is there.
Allegedly, I get gigabit soon where I am, so...
Oh, really? Is it Verizon? Or
no, I guess we're part of the Time Warner Cable gigabit upgrade that might happen in the near future.
Oh, nice.
Which means it will never happen.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm stoked about it, not gonna lie. Gigabit internet access? Yeah. And then I ended up kind of scoping out some stuff to do while I'm up there, and I guess PDX LAN is a big thing I've never heard of, but it's a thing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to go to at least a few of those LAN parties. See how that goes. I haven't done like a legit huge LAN party like that before.
I am curious what you're going to think of Portland overall. I look forward to those updates.
Yeah, I mean, I've been, like I said, I've visited a few times.
Yes, but that's like saying you know what New York is like because you've visited New York. Living in New York and living in New York are two very hateful things.
Yeah, no, totally get that, and I know over time it'll be a thing, but I'm so far it's looking good, but we'll see how my attitude or what my attitude is regarding the area as it gets closer or as I live there longer. But yeah, biggest thing has been just the Portland move and getting everything packed and all that. My moving is all sorted out in terms of how we're moving all of our stuff. So, and then apparently we're debating on just not even taking our mattress and bed and all that stuff up there and just buying a new one up there.
How old is your mattress?
It's a couple years old. Like,
how old's the couple?
Maybe like 6 to 8.
As someone who bought a new mattress and moved to LA, so that's what, like my mattress is now 6-7 years old. Maybe get a new mattress. They're heavy to move, and like a new mattress for a year is something amazing.
Yeah. Well, I guess Mandy found this interesting company there. I guess they're called Big Fig, but they make mattresses for bigger folks with bigger frames. So I'm like, okay. But apparently they're like really fucking good. They have like a 20-year warranty or some shit. So he's telling me about it. I'm like, well, realistically, we could get this instead of having to move our current mattress. And so it's been a subject of deliberation. So we're probably going to finalize that pretty damn soon. But that way we can have it delivered the day we're up there, kind of thing.
Sure.
Know? But yeah, no. Other than that, like it's been scrambling. I haven't been streaming at all these last like 2 weeks. So I probably won't be streaming for the next couple weeks until I get settled up.
Yeah.
But yeah, and of course kind of plan out what we're gonna do. I will say that one of the things we're planning on doing once we get up there is renting a U-Haul truck, like not a U-Haul truck, but the like little pickup truck.
Yeah.
And then literally just going to the Craigslist free section and getting stuff to kind of fill the apartment. For now.
Smart move.
Yeah, because there's tons of weird free shit they have up there.
Yep.
So yeah, I I'm excited, man. I will say, like, obviously it's a reality that I'm moving far away, but I'm still pretty stoked about it. So
Yeah.
But yeah, it's my weeks have been moving, and my weeks will continue to be moving at this point in time. So that's pretty much it for me. Other than just Battle for Azeroth's getting interesting, but that's just more me being excited about WoW. Alex doing Alex things.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Ready for news then?
What news?
We do have news this week. It's not just us speculating about E3. We do got news.
All right. Let me. News stickers on. Let's do this.
Yep. Sorry, let me readjust my ice onto my shoulder because it helps keep the pain at bay. All right off the bat this week, we got PUBG is suing. Sorry, I got the order wrong. PUBG is suing Fortnite.
I saw that. Like, they're actually isn't this based off of the older lawsuit?
I guess. South Korea's PUBG Corp, the studio behind PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, is suing Epic Games, the developer of Fortnite, for copyright infringement. So yes, we did kind of talk about this, I guess, back in January. It's when this first kind of popped up, but they're moving forward with this.
This is not going to go well for them.
I don't know. Do I think they have a case? Maybe, kind of. Do I think they'll win? No. Do I think this would happen if Fortnite had not surpassed PUBG as the most played game right now? No. I think this is sore losing.
That's absolutely what it is.
Yeah.
This is not going to go well for them. I hate to say it. Like they're they're good games in their own right. Like, there's some stuff that PUBG offers as a flavor that doesn't compare to Fortnite and vice versa. But really, you're going to sue because you're losing it's a shit thing to do. They're literally burning money that they're getting from the game at this point, and it's not going to go well for them. Like, I don't see, like, I'm trying to think of, like, what is the word I'm looking for? So, like, I mean, realistically, can't just Epic eventually later on, if, like, anything happens with, just be like, we're not licensing our engine to you anymore?
I don't think so. Licensing contracts have to expire, and I suspect in video game stuff, the expiring is weird. Like, Grand Theft Auto the Grand Theft Auto 4 just got stuck doing a patch that removed some music from the game because the rights to use it that contract had come up and was over, kind of thing. I don't know is the answer. I have gotten the impression that, like, Epic was very involved in getting their engine to work correctly with PUBG. I could imagine that relationship just kind of dies on the vine. And
yeah, so when they've got shitty bugs affecting their game, Epic's like, well, tough shit.
Yeah. Other people don't have this problem. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is one of those ones where there's a concept of lawsuits you, like, have to have, because if you don't do them, it can cause other problems. This very much feels like a lawsuit that PUBG kind of has to do, whether or not, like, they'll win or not.
I don't know.
I think it's a bad move. I think it's...
I think it's a fucking terrible move.
Like, I totally kind of armchair game developer, whatever. I personally think the correct move for this should have been, like... So, let me back up a step. PUBG's officially out. It still has some bizarre issues in that game. Like, that game has some, like, substantial jank every once in a while to it that exists that, like, to be blunt, doesn't exist in most games that get that popular.
Yeah.
Maybe it's wrong for me to say this, but part of me really thinks that when, like, Tencent came around and offered to buy him out, PlayerUnknown should have taken the money.
Did Tencent approach them?
They tried to buy it at one point, yeah.
Oh, it makes sense. So wait, so does Tencent own... Tencent doesn't own Fortnite, then?
No, they don't, yeah, they do. They own Epic. They own a chunk of Epic, at least.
Okay, they own a chunk of it, okay. Yeah, I can't see this going well, and frankly, like, not so much, like, I mean, if it's a lawsuit that needs to happen, sure, whatever, but, like, in the public eye, this lawsuit is fucking poison.
It doesn't look great, no, and I think it's one of those ones where it's like, the reason people play Fortnite is A, it's free, B, it's nowhere near as intense as PUBG is. Like, PUBG, I think the best I ever heard was, it's a horror game without monsters.
Yeah, that's a good description of it. As somebody who literally, like, I like each game in their own right. Like, don't get me wrong.
I know, like, they're both pretty good games, and they both deserve to be as popular as they are, but, like the PUBG one, I looked at it and said, this will not stand the test of time because your game is kind of jank. The Fortnite one, it's like, no, this one, like, this is a thing off of another game they're already making that's, like, going to be hugely popular, and it's monetized better, and it's being made by people that make better video games, and it does not have the same kind of weird jank.
Yeah.
Would it have existed without PUBG? I don't know. I don't think so, but who knows?
Well, that's the thing, though, dude. Like, how many fucking MOBAs came out when MOBAs were fucking popular as shit?
Tons!
Yeah, when Overwatch kicked off, how many fucking offshoots of, like, that, of the Overwatch-esque style games came out? You had fucking...
Not as many, but a ton still. Yeah,
there were a lot. I mean, you some that you didn't hear
A bunch
about,
got announced, a lot didn't go anywhere. Like, they were like, oh, we're doing this, okay, and that never actually happened.
Yeah, like Paladins, Hi-Res came out with Paladins for a while, and it's very much, no, we're not copying Overwatch kind of clone.
I think Paladins is the only one I'd actually describe as during the whole Let's Clone Overwatch area. Like them and what's it called, Battleborn. Those are the two that I think that after really got out there and were big.
Well, there was also that one that got made by Cliffy B, and that one didn't work out too well.
That wasn't the same thing.
It was they said one of their direct competitors was like Overwatch, from what I recall.
I think they were saying that. No one saw it that way.
Well, not a lot of people saw the game, period.
Well, that too, but if what that game was, Lawbreakers was, and what they claim to be doing, like, it's like, oh, we're competing with Overwatch. No, you're not.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're competing with first-person shooters. No, it's a character-based shooter. Maybe technically.
Yeah. So, it's I don't know, man. This is not looking good for PUBG overall. Like, I like them, but fuck this. When I heard this, I'm like, God dang it, man. Like, just take your fucking L's. Like, you didn't get the chicken dinner this time. Fortnite got it. So,
I don't know. I'm not some lawyer. I don't work for their company. I don't, like, maybe they have to kind of thing because it becomes a, like, Fortnite is killing us slowly.
Well, you adapt or you fail. That's technology, man.
Maybe you should have sold that giant company and offered you lots of money for it. I don't know, but yeah.
So, I don't know. This is, I like PUBG. I will defend PUBG in a lot of things. I can't find a reason to defend it for this, though. From a public perspective, it's not a great look. Let's leave it at that, how about? Yeah, that's accurate.
Moving on to another not great look. You know, every time you mention I should check out Star Citizen, I say don't check out Star Citizen.
Sure.
So, the people behind Star Citizen just announced that you can buy a ship pack, meaning you get a bunch of in-game ships for real money, for $27,000.
Hold on. With 3 zeros after?
Yes, 27,000 real-world dollars. To be fair, you get 117 ships and 163 extras, but these are digital ships and digital extras for the most part. It's called the Legatus Pack. Legatus, I don't know how to pronounce that. And it is everything I hate about Star Citizen. As someone who's bought a couple of ships in Star Citizen, I've spent like $300 on that game tops, which is too much money. $27,000 is way too much money.
They're not releasing this fucking game.
I don't think they are.
For all it's worth until they're like, oh, well, it's not going to work out.
As someone who thinks that game is real cool and would love that game to come out and for a brief period of time was like, maybe it will actually happen, I'm going back to this game's never actually coming out.
Yeah, no, they are... They're fucking milking people right now. And
I don't think this is milking. That's the issue. Like, this is kind of the weirdness of that community. Like, it's... The game you can play right now, the the persistent universe stuff, ain't half bad. Like if they kept putting out like updates that did nothing, I'd be more in the like fuck all this ratio. But the reality is they keep putting out things that don't suck, and like it's like no, this is definitely going somewhere. We've reached a point where maybe I kind of want to say stop fucking adding shit and just make it work and release it, and then add more shit. But like. What that game is pretty deep and weirdly functional in its like early access state.
Uh-huh.
It's bizarre. Like it's I don't know what it's like to build an MMO from the ground up, but like I get the impression this follows kind of all of those same things. Like this is what WoW after like 2 years in development would have looked like, I suspect.
Yeah.
It's bizarre and weird, and don't spend $27,000 on fake ships.
How long have they been in what's it I'm looking for? How long have they been working on this game now? How long has it been in early access?
I want to say 4 years, but let me Google that quickly.
4 years? Release your fucking game. Like that you release a fucking game. You've had 4 years. People will fucking drop the money after, but come on. It's early access. Oh, hey, now you can buy this.
Okay, so development began in 2011.
Okay.
I'm not sure when the first. When did the thing come out? And part of the issue is this game keeps kind of morphing every couple of years. Like I think the reality is if you were to go back in time and say what is Star Citizen as it currently stands, when did that development start? I think it's closer to 2013, 2014.
Okay.
Because this game went from being like, hey, I'm making a space video game to I'm making a fucking space MMO somewhere in its, I think it's kickstarting process or kind of somewhere along the line. They have some of the stuff they keep adding. I believe the stuff they're kind of working on, it seems the most right now is when this game was pitched and kickstarted, there was no on foot stuff. That's now a very big part of the game. It's an awesome part of the game. But it's also like, hey, it's a totally new system we have to kind of strap onto this.
Okay.
Like, again, like, I've never made an MMO before. I've never actually seen how long an MMO takes to make kind of thing. But, like, I would compare this to if Lich King, where WoW was at Lich King, was kind of the scope, was the, like, where we're aiming for when WoW launched at right off the bat. I mean, like, aerial mounts, kind of that level interactive zone that's like with all the PvP and shit like that. Like, and that's kind of the problem with Star Citizens. They're trying to have this unbelievably done package where I think a bunch of us would be okay where it's okay, like, not in ship mode is coming. That's cool. Finish the spaceship part of the game. We'll deal with the fucking Eve menus for a year or two as you get the like on foot stuff dealt with, and then we'll upgrade to that. Like, that's the issue of the development. They're trying to release everything cool all at once, which is cool, but also it's very problematic.
Got it. That makes sense, but still, like, come on.
Oh, it's nuts. It's why I'm like, don't buy into Star Citizen, but also like Star Citizen could be one of the most important video games of all time, potentially.
Uh-huh.
Like the stuff they're doing with shit. Like, this is the issue. Like the tech they're doing shit with is just damn impressive, and most of it's developed by them. Like the procedure planets, the kind of, and I don't mean like just the planet. I mean like the cities and the resource and the persistence of that stuff that they're building into how they build stuff is cool. The fact that ships have, like, very in-depth damage models is pretty cool. Like, you can blow wings off almost all the ships, and that then does affect stuff. The fact that, like, your ships will fly different, not just from space and atmo, but, like, depending on what that planet's atmosphere is and space. The fact there's a G-force system, and different ships, because of their size and stuff, respond to those G-force systems differently is pretty fucking cool. The fact that, like, I can shoot a hole through someone's ship, jump out of my ship, float towards their ship, kill their captain in the seat, and then steal their ship and it's mine is a pretty ambitious system. And the fact that kind of everything I've just said is kind of all in the game right now is fucking impressive. But also, don't spend $27,000 on fake ships.
No.
And that's just the ships that exist right now. You don't even get new ships. That's just the ships that are available right now. But, yeah. Move on to some quick news quickly. Steve accidentally revealed Just Cause 4 prior to E3.
Good job, Steam.
Good job, Steam.
They joined a long list of people who have revealed things like GameStop on their sales ad page. So, good job, Steam.
Yep, it was an ad they put up, and I guess who knows what happened. But, yep. Just Cause 4, confirmed. But speaking of Steam, Valve has said it will now allow everything on Steam, unless it's illegal or straight up trolling.
I saw that. You sound like you got something to say regarding the matter.
Don't. I just think this is a bad move. Because they took that whole school shooter video game down. I want them to take shit like that down, but at the same time, my view is sell the fucking porn games already, you jackasses. Stop acting like you're better than porn money. But at the same time, I'm but also don't allow the school shooter games on your platform. Like,
well, see, here's the thing, though. Under that rule, the school shooting game would be kicked out for
I
trolling.
don't think it does. I think this just gives them an
Oh.
out to be like, whatever, we're letting anything on.
No, I think it absolutely would have. Because, like, as soon as people realized that was up there, like, they're like, no, fuck that. This is very on the nose right now, considering the current climate. So
I just think this is them being lazy and going, you know what's hard? Moderation.
Well, YouTube does the same shit where they just have like, moderation's hard, so dumb shit happens.
Yeah, but it's
like,
not an excuse. Like, it's...
Oh no, not at all. But like, basically, like saying, hey, look, unless it's trolling or flat out illegal, do it. Like, I'm okay with that.
There's already so much shit on Steam that's bad. There's now going to be so much more. Like, I don't think this is the right move. I get the idea of like, oh, we're gonna sell porn games now. Like, I'm fine with that in theory. It's the fact that it's like, and we're letting everything on. Oh no.
Well, even with the Greenlight program, they had dumb shit on there.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, still, I don't know. This is a bad move.
I guess we'll agree to disagree on this one because I mean, as long as they're actively, like, I think if anything, trolling requires a bit of physical moderation by somebody to deem it as trolling and such. So I think if they're actively going to be taking down stuff that's considered trolling, there's a level of moderation that needs to be there,
yep.
Which I think is good. So the community can report it, and then they can investigate it, and then if it's deemed that it's trolling, it's gone. Like the school shooter game.
Yeah, like, I guess it's one of those ones where it's like, if they had done a good job of it up to this point, I'd be like, okay, yeah, whatever. It just feels like they're lazy and trying to get out of doing shit. Like, this is the person being like, I'll do it tomorrow. What if I just pull up all the grass? I don't have to mow it ever again.
Well, this is Steam. Their customer service has always been a little bit abysmal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't feel like, hey, we're doing this because, like, porn games. It's like, we're doing this because we're sick of having to care about it.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm torn. I think, personally, as long as it's not, like, that they said, I'm alright with it.
Yeah, yes. I still think it's bad, but I think you're right, and we will have to agree to disagree on this one.
Yeah.
But speaking of stuff we both agree on being good, Hitman 2 has leaked.
What?
The official reveal of it anyway has. There's a trailer, it looks cool, it got confirmed. But yeah, Hitman 2 is coming back. It is unclear at this point if it'll be a whole new game I have to buy, or just a second season I buy for my existing Hitman game. Either which I'd be cool with, but yeah, Hitman 2 is happening!
Much excite.
Much excite.
I'm curious to see what kind of fun stuff they're gonna have.
I've been watching a lot of Hitman stuff lately because my YouTube is like, oh, you watch that gaming video, have some Hitman highlights. And I'm like, I will take some Hitman highlights because my arm is busted and I can't play Hitman. So this happened, I'm like, fucking yes! I personally hope it's another kind of episodic season where I get them doled out in kind of small increments over time, because I thought that was a super cool system for Hitman 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would love if, like, 3 seasons from now, like, hey, we're making new Hitman again. I'm like, cool. I got 3 seasons of old Hitman? Cool. Yeah. Indeed. Speaking of leaks, though, I guess if someone on the PlayStation Store found that there's a new listing for a new Assassin's Creed, it's listed as Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You play as Spartan in this one.
Oh, like, this is Sparta! Ah!
Yeah.
Is that why they advertised they had to kick? Makes sense, yeah.
Have they advertised this already?
I saw a little video of, like, them kicking someone.
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, the game description leaked on PS4. Nothing I've seen said they've officially confirmed this, but, like, Ubisoft press conference is 3 days away, so if I was them, I'd probably wait till then.
Yep. I don't know what they're gonna do to kind of revitalize. I'm kind of over.
People like the Egypt one that just happened a lot.
I think they did some other stuff recently that was kind of like bigger than just their normal Assassin's Creed-ness.
No, that's what I'm saying. The Egypt one is an Assassin's Creed game in kind of name alone. It really, it's more of a Far Cry game in some ways.
Ah. Okay, well,
like to the point where maybe I'd say maybe stop calling these games God, I'm blanking on the name now. Assassin games, because, like, what is an Assassin's Creed game at this point? I don't think it's this game anymore.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, because like Assassin's Creed Origin was more about like you being a hero in Egypt than the Assassin's Creed Order or anything like that, really.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, storyline wise, that makes sense, but I don't know. I mean, I think Assassin's Creed kind of reached the point with their franchise. It's like there's only so much they can do. I don't know what else they're gonna really do.
Maybe
I mean,
it's time to end it then, like other franchises do, or like give it some time, like God of War did. I don't know.
Do you think it's time for it to kind of take some time?
I thought after 3 it was time for them to go away. Like I think Assassin's Creed 3 is a bad Assassin's Creed game. Then you've got Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which kind of starts this trend of, is this even actually an Assassin's Creed game? And that's the most Assassin's Creed of, is this actually an Assassin's Creed game? Like, if that game had just been a pirate game, using kind of Assassin's Creed combat and maneuvers and kind of that open worldness, I think that game may have been better. And honestly, like, that's the game where they start being like, let's not focus on this shit quite so much because Desmond's dead. Like, and then 4 was Unity, which was very Assassin's Creed-y, and people had some, like, but it also, people were kind of got, that's where the backlash started. And then, what was it, Unity, the London Gang Simulator? Again, like, that was Assassin's Creed-y, but also it could have been, like, this could just be, like, rising in gang power in, like, gang London, and it might have been fine, but also, like, I would go so far as to say between 4, which is Black Flag, the first really good one that was like, okay, this is fucking amazing, was Origins, which is the new one that just came out, which was the Egypt one. That was kind of more about, like, Egypt and being a badass in Egypt than Assassin's Creed, because it's the founding of the Assassins, but also, like, not the most centralized part of that game is the Assassins. Like, I think Assassin's Creed should end.
Yeah, I mean, I would say even like you said earlier, give them that break like God of War did, because now everyone fucking loves God of War.
Well, and so they did a mini break. They took 2 years off, and that's how you got Origins. Like, but part of me wonders if you just went to like straight historical tourism kind of games and didn't have like. Part of my issue with Assassin's Creed is I fucking hate the kind of like Animus Templar versus Assassin backdrop stuff, or the backplot that goes on in these. Like, it's such a bad story at this point that distracts from kind of the ongoing story of the actual games, to the point where I'm like, I don't want to deal with this shit. I just want to play a cool video game, and this looks like a cool video game, but I want to hear a bunch of people talk about, like, oh, this god that hasn't shown up in like 5 games, and fucking Desmond, and like, oh, it's fake Ubisoft, but we're evil. Like in 4, every time you logged out of the Animus to like walk around and do like things, I audibly would go, oh no, not again. Just let me be a pirate, goddammit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know what else to say about Assassin's Creed, to be honest. I'm
Yep.
like, I've been over it for a while. And I think is I get them for free, which is the funny thing, but I'm like, I'm kind of over them. Don't play them, and I have no desire to play them.
Yep.
But hey, if you're an Assassin's Creed fan out there, congrats, now you're a Spartan.
Yep. There's a chance that may have been revealed by the time this podcast goes up, even. I don't know.
This is true.
But moving on from that to the Pokemon Switch game, also known as Pokemon or Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Those are 2 different games. Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Based on the trailer, I thought this was going to be a Switch-based version of Pokemon Go. Based on a lot of research I've done, it appears to be a kind of remake of Pokemon Yellow, meaning your Pokemon fucking follows you around like an idiot outside of its ball, where people should store those fuckers because they're monsters and dangerous.
Yeah.
With throwing mechanics.
Yeah, that's not going to go well.
My girlfriend's first reaction upon seeing the trailer was, so many TVs are going to get broken.
Yeah, 100% fucking agree on that one. That is not going to go well. This is like Wii Bowling, but we brought it back, and now we're catching Pokemon. Fuck your TV, go catch more Pokemon. So, also, I don't know if you saw your research, but what I've heard is this is going to interact somehow with Pokemon Go on your phone.
No, maybe it will. I guess I get it. Yeah, so the description's kind of bizarre. It will connect to the real Pokemon game we're getting in the near future and Pokemon Go, so fuck it, why not?
Yeah. I did notice one thing they talked about is when you walk around the game, there's no random encounters anymore.
Oh yeah, it's just NPC fights now.
Yeah. So you have to like walk up to the Pokemon or whatever to what do you call it, to get the word I'm looking for.
Battle.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And I don't think in the trailer they actually ever show battle happening, so.
No, they don't. That's right.
They show moves, I guess, but yeah, like, that's not overly critical. But like, if you ever wanted Pokemon Go to come to a console, here you go.
Have fun, guys.
Yeah, if you can even call this fun.
Are you gonna pick it up?
No, I want the Pokemon game that will come to the Switch, the real one, because that could be cool. But I'm not gonna lie, like, I've skipped the last couple ones because I just don't think I like Pokemon games as much as I used to. I don't know. I definitely won't get this shit unless it like does something really fucking cool. I have no reason to get this shit. Like my girlfriend, who's the last Pokemon Go player I actively know of, not that there aren't more out there, she's the one I actually interact with any frequency, like, has kind of stopped playing the game some too. Like, and like the fact that she's even waning off that means like, who is this game even for?
Nintendo fanboys who will buy it.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's definitely the only thing I can think of is, and they will buy it in droves.
Probably. Well, speaking of people buying things in droves, in typical Bethesda fashion, I guess they kind of a bit of a trolley game announcement, which is Fallout 76. They had like, what's a 24-hour-long live stream of nothing.
Wait, what?
Did you miss this? Like, they were streaming a Please Stand By thing on their Twitch panel for like, I think it was 24 hours. Maybe it was only 12, but like it ended with Fallout 76 being revealed. It's going to be an online survival RPG.
Yes, that's right, yeah. Was it 24 hours? That's fucking
I don't know how long it was.
It was a few hours. I remember people posting about it. I didn't know it was 24 hours, but yeah, no. Yeah, I remember seeing about that. There's a giant freaking pit boar, or whatever you call it, up in LA because it's obviously E3. So, but yeah, no, I heard about this. This is interesting. I've already like a lot of my friends are big Fallout fans, so I've seen all the weird fan theories start to pop up already about it and all that nonsense. But I did see a little dumb parody one of what's going on. But it's obviously a parody of it. But I guess the theory for the Fallout shelter was, or the vault, is you go in, you get beat up and captured. Your captives force you to sit down in front of a computer and play a game. Once you sit down in front of the game, you wake up riding up a cart, and you're going to get beheaded and a dragon shows up. Elder Scrolls inside Fallout. God damn it, you did it again. Yeah, that's the only one thing I've heard about it as far as a joke goes.
Yeah, the comparison I've heard is, the game Rust?
Yeah, Rust didn't do too well, did it?
It did really well.
Did it? Okay. Oh, no, yeah. Rust is the one that was early access where you, like, kind of live you start off like a cave and you have to build your way up and build structures, right?
Sorta, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The general consensus on this new Fallout 76 seems that's gonna be kind of similar to Rust, probably, using Fallout universe. I think this is like a natural progression after the crafting mechanics of 4, and like I think that game had a hardcore mode where it was a survival game at that point. I don't know. After 4, I think I swore off Fallout games, so I don't particularly care on this one. Are you ever a big Fallout fan?
I've tried to play a little bit of it, but I'm like meh about it, to be honest. Like, I would definitely be hearing about it from my friends and all that, so I'll get my updates from them about it. But yeah, I mean, now that it's online survival, maybe I'm a little intrigued.
Yeah, the biggest reaction I have to this game is a lot of people keep saying, so when are they going to announce the next Elder Scrolls game? And I stand on the topic of, they're not. Elder Scrolls Online is killing it. They're never making a standalone game ever again. And when I said that, kind of in my head, I'm like, so when does Fallout go online? And here you go.
Huh. That's true. Yeah, it makes sense. They wouldn't need to release another Elder Scrolls game, considering like the online one is doing really well.
They keep adding expansions that are the size of Elder Scrolls games. Like it's impressive.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know on this one. I assume we'll hear more in the next couple of days.
Yeah, but hey, for Fallout fans, I'm actually pretty excited for you because I've met a lot of Fallout fans who are really passionate about the franchise. So
were they Fallout fans, or were they Fallout fans that jumped on the bandwagon at 3?
A lot of them I've played the original Fallout, the ones that are like you build your character up kind of thing, and it's very like I think it was on Nintendo or
nope.
No. What was the early one? It was a long time ago.
It was PC.
Was it PC? Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was.
That's how fucking old they are.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, because I bought Fallout from COG at one point. It was a sale thing, so I got it. But yeah. So.
Yeah, anyone who says they're a Fallout fan, they started playing at 3, go fuck yourself a little bit.
But yeah, anybody who's a fan of like Fallout that I know is usually pretty
They is a devout fan base. I guess maybe not go fuck yourself, but as someone who was a fan from kind of the early on Fallouts, I really hated 4 because like it didn't feel like the Fallout games anymore. 3 was a nice revigoration of it. Like New Vegas was the best of the kind of modern Fallouts for a variety of reasons, and 4 killed my love of the franchise.
Oh, 4 killed it for you?
4 killed it. Like I loved 3. I loved New Vegas. 4 made me go, okay, yeah, I don't like Fallout anymore.
Got it.
Moving on from that, another quick one. It has been announced that Blizzard is working on some Diablo game. No more details than that.
Yep, and we won't hear shit about it until BlizzCon.
Yep.
If that's what's happening, we won't hear anything for now.
It's not clear what this is. This was found out because a job listing went up for working on a Diablo project at Blizzard, so there you go.
Yeah, they've that's been flying around for a little while now. They've had several positions open up for a mysterious project, and considering how long Diablo 2's been out, Diablo 3, I wouldn't be surprised if it's either a huge expansion or just a whole new Diablo game. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. I can't see them trying to release something like an older Diablo remake or something like that. Like, which is, by the way, oddly enough, still being supported. Like, even Diablo 2 just had a ladder reset, I think, not too long ago. Mm. So that's kind of interesting that they're still kind of doing stuff for the legacy game, so to speak. But, yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on... Would you prefer it to be an expansion or just a flat-out new game?
I honestly don't care at this point because I'm never going to play Diablo on the PC because I like the way the console version of it plays too much. So I stopped playing it after a chunk of time. Like, if the Necromancer thing had come out... Like, I owned the Necromancer expansion for PS4 and played like an hour of it and then went like, okay, whatever, I'm done with this game still. I never got into ongoing play of that game, and... I guess that means I probably fall in the category of, nah, fuck it, burn it to the ground, new game. Hard reset.
Yeah.
Maybe add the console controls to the PC version, because the console controls are bitchin'.
So what if let's say they release a new one. If they add the option to play the game with a controller, like you normally would with, like, you know how in Steam you can plug it in and it'll read it and all that stuff?
Yep.
Would you be down to do it on PC if you got the controller?
Oh, yeah, no, my disdain for the PC version is I don't like games that require you to click that goddamn much in a game, and the console version of it is a beautiful, like, inspired, a variety of other adjectives that are positive way of transferring the way Diablo plays to a controller, so you're not stuck mashing buttons. Like, it's really good. It's hold X and hold the direction, and you do your stuff, and I'm like, man, this is so much better than the PC.
You can do that in the PC version.
On a controller?
No, just with a keyboard and mouse. If you hold shift and aim at the direction, like when you press the button, it does that.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep clicking it over and over.
I want a controller.
You just prefer it on a controller.
I generally prefer controllers to mouse and keyboard at most of the time. Like, for anything but first-person shooters, I find mouse and keyboard are terrible controls for them. Moving on from that, though, we got some big last-minute Destiny news right before E3, and we have a new name for the expansion. It's called The Forsaken. And it's gonna be fucking Taken King 2. They're gonna fix Destiny 2. Like, they announced you can have shotguns in all your 3 spots, which means, yeah, I fucking pre-ordered this shit, because it's cheap. What they said is they're fixing a bunch of stuff I had personal gripes with, so yeah, fuck it, I'll go in. This is their last shot for me, but they're adding bows, because fuck it, why not? There's gotta be 9 new supers in the game, because fuck it, why not?
Yeah, did you see the Voidwalkers anime style fucking teleporting?
It's pretty cool. Like, again, like, the supers in that game have always been cool.
Yeah, that's true. It was just a lot of gameplay stuff that really kind of just killed me as far as it goes, but
it's weird because the announcement almost feels like, hey, we're turning Destiny 2 into Destiny 1. And I'm like, I'm okay with that. We're bringing back randomization. Sweet.
Did you also see they're releasing a new 4v4 mode called Gambit?
Yeah, that looks pretty cool, in all honesty.
I like the idea that like you basically have two teams competing to kill a bunch of PvE enemies, and then you can go over and sabotage the other team and which is
I always wanted competitive raids or something like that too, where it was like a time trial or something.
Yeah, this actually, although this does sound a little bit similar to what Blizzard is doing with Battle for Azeroth, because they're doing island expedition raid.
Yeah,
and it's the same idea. You kill enemies, gather resources, and then also you can go sabotage the enemy player kind of thing. But yeah, no, this is. I gotta say, I was watching some of it because I'm already really kind of teed off by the whole Destiny 2 thing.
Yep.
But like, I'm like, okay, this is looking a little bit better. I don't know how I feel about the annual pass.
You already have it. You have no right to complain because you already technically have one.
Do I?
You're a WoW player. This is exactly how WoW works.
Okay. Well, yeah, because they're doing like a subscription thing, right?
Yeah.
And how much is it now?
I think it's like $30, but there's different tiers to it.
Okay.
Yeah, like, the reality is they're doing what Destiny always needed to have done to it, which is, okay, yeah, you'll get base Destiny 2 fixed every couple months kind of thing. Like we'll do the seasons, but each season then kicks off some new stuff. Like, this is how MMOs work.
Yeah, but like, you know what you're buying into with like WoW for a subscription.
Do you?
Yeah.
But you're not buying a subscription. You're just buying you're buying the new stuff. You're basically buying the DLC.
Actually, let me take that back. Let me rewind that really quick. WoW announces kind of the idea of what raids will be involved in, so that you're paying for the service. That's what it is. And upkeep and this and that. But
so this is essentially if WoW had hey, you can level up a character, but you can't go in any dungeons or raids or PvP kind of mode, but you can have a character still. That's what this is, essentially.
Which I'm not 100%.
You're already doing it. Like, I'm sorry, the fact that you think this is in any way different than a subscription to World of Warcraft is completely wrong. It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah, but they've always marketed this as you buy it, you buy the that DLC, you're good. Now you're having to subscribe on top of buying.
No, the annual pass gets you the stuff.
So wait, let me clarify here. So Destiny 2's expansion comes out.
Yeah.
If I buy Destiny 2's expansion and I don't get the annual pass, I don't have shit afterwards?
Basically.
Like, I'm not cool with that.
I'm sorry, if I buy Burning Crusade but don't buy more time on the game, do I get to play the game still?
Well, see the thing though, you're buying for the time. Like,
I'm sorry, I just paid money for the expansion for World of Warcraft.
Yeah, but World of Warcraft has already from the very beginning.
So I'm buying the expansion and I'm buying time, which is exactly what this is, except in this case you're buying the expansion and then you're buying other expansions that come later on. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but on here they were saying that the annual pass stuff is optional.
It is.
Yeah. See, that's the difference. With World of Warcraft, when you buy their stuff, nothing is optional. Everyone gets it. Unless
you stop paying money for it. Like, again,
yeah,
this is $34 versus how much do you pay a month for World of Warcraft?
How much would you say it was?
$34.
Oh, yeah, $12.99 a month.
I'm sorry. I know you don't like it, but this is an MMO model. But see, this is how MMOs work. This is essentially this is a free-to-play game now with, like, member mode on it or something.
Yeah, but the difference is this game started itself as you buy it, you get your stuff. This is if they want to switch to a complete subscription model, I get that. But
which is kind of what they're doing.
What Destiny originally was. That's the part that irks me.
It shouldn't.
Like how so?
I'm sorry. Well, you don't have to pay time to play Destiny. You have to pay money to get new stuff in Destiny, which you have to do in other games too. Like I'm sorry, but this is how video games work at this point. You pay money for new stuff most of the time.
I get that.
You're only getting new stuff for what you're playing. You still can play Destiny 2 if you don't buy the annual pass.
Yeah, I think that's what it might be, is like, if you're going to compare it to WoW, those are two different games.
Not really. It's better than WoW, technically, by that measure. Yes, because I can play Destiny 2 forever without paying more money for it. If I want new stuff, I have to pay money for it.
Well, that's the thing. You're paying for additional... There's a difference between DLC and subscription to actually play the game. Those are two separate things.
But it's still money you're paying in the ongoing sense.
Yes, I get that.
And they're about the same when you add the numbers up. In fact, less in one case.
I don't know. Maybe I'm a little jaded because of what Destiny's been doing the last couple of things, that I'm hesitant.
That is a completely fair stance to take, but anyone saying, like, people like me have said, we want the fucking MMO structure. This is maybe how you do MMO structure in a more kind of not MMO-style game. Like, sorry, but this is exactly what people like me wanted.
Oh, I'm still hesitant only because, like, Destiny 2 so far has been very, like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a little jaded by the way they've come out with it. And now, like, hey, we promise things will be better, but just give us more money and we'll be definitely better. It's just a little bit of is what I'm like about. It's part of the reason I was so mad at the Old Republic is the same idea. Like, they have the, like, what is it I'm looking for? The Old Republic has a really shitty model for their content if you do free to play versus the actual subscription. So you pretty much are stuck playing the subscription, and I feel like this is similar in that sense.
No, because you can
play the game, but it's just like you're missing out on some stuff.
That's the same with WoW. You don't have to buy the expansions. You do because it opens new stuff for you. I'm sorry, but everything you're saying is, yeah, that's exactly how this works. Or it's like you're not paying for it. The game is still there. You can still play the game. You can still play PvP. They've taken nothing away from you. They're just now charging you money for new stuff, which is what every game of this type does.
Wouldn't surprise me if they do take shit away from you, though. Look what happened with what was it? Was it the Osiris thing? They took away fucking strikes from people.
They have a bad habit of locking stuff away. Yeah, that's something they. But at the same time, that the new level cap is X. The only strikes at X, like that's something they do badly every single time. They frequently have situations where, when they add a piece of DLC, you lose access to like certain high-end activities. But again, the argument might be made: the highest-end activities in WoW are linked to whatever expansion you're on at that point. You can still go back and do all of the like. So in Destiny 1, when the Taken King, the Forsaken equivalent came out, we had a couple rounds where like the Crota's End and the Reef one who's playing the House of Wolves stuff. It'd be like, okay, yeah, if you never bought these, I think the Nightfall and the Heroic Strikes were gone because it was like, these are the high-end game things. We have not taken any of these strikes away, just these certain activities aimed at endgame are now based on the DLC, which you cannot tell me other games don't do. WoW absolutely starts going, okay, our dailies are now based around endgame, which is the expansion.
No, because the dailies from the older expansions are still
They don't
there.
matter at that.
If all the stuff they take them away, they don't in WoW.
That stuff still exists.
It still absolutely
it does in Destiny too.
But you were just saying that it takes it away.
The game mode, the heroic stuff, the harder version of things doesn't exist anymore because it's part of the subscription at that point. It is a mode based around endgame, that stuff. They have removed zero content from that game. It's just one activity you can't go and do. And I think they even made it so, like, even if you didn't have those things, you could still do those modes on older maps. You just didn't have access to the new stuff.
Which is, I get for the new maps, that's fine. But, like, taking away the option to just do heroic strikes in general for the...
There's no point to heroic strikes if you don't have... unless you're building towards something to a certain extent. Like, that's part of the problem. Like, it's the... By having a new piece of content, you, like... There's no reason to do any of the old raids in WoW except because you can do them and you can get cool kind of... the transmorging stuff for your gear. Beyond that, why would you bother doing them? Is there any...
you have people who are still doing that. Like, you have, like, movements of people who still do, like, the, they lock out their characters from any kind of leveling and stuff like that, and they don't have to buy the expansion, and they still do, like, they like the, what's it I'm looking for? Hold on.
So, but what you're describing is a very specific player choice. Like, but the gear they're getting from them doesn't matter if you're kind of progressing through that game normally. Like, you'll be getting better stuff than just play through the game at that point. Don't bother doing the various end game points throughout the game. Like, that's how it works, right? Like, there's no reason for you to, as a max level character, to go back and play vanilla WoW raids for gear. You can do it because it's fun, because it's nostalgic, because you can now solo it, because a variety of other reasons. But there's no in-game reason aside for, like, ornamental shit to go back.
I don't know. I'm torn on this one. Like, if they want to go full MMO subscription model, that's fine. But like, there's shit that needs to get fixed if they want to try to pull that off.
Oh, I don't think this is great. I'm just
the subscription model.
I don't think this is a great stance either. Like, it's what they're doing. It's like it's what they should have been doing all along. And it's like, okay, great, you're doing this. But at the same time, like, I'm just going to, it's like, oh, this is not how other games work. It's like, yeah, it is. It's like Everest doesn't work. The free to play part of that game that doesn't, the monetary part of that game they have in there right now doesn't work because it's shit and no one likes it. The idea of like, hey, here's some premium stuff you'll get to do throughout the year, like the fucking record books for SRL you had to buy. They were like $5, and you could do SRL, I think. You just couldn't get any of the rewards from it. That's what they're selling. And I think I'm okay with that. So long as that stuff actually happens and doesn't suck. And the Forsaken thing is separate unless you buy kind of one of the bundle deals for it from the annual pass. So you can buy the Forsaken and do all the Forsaken stuff, and then choose to buy the annual pass later or not.
Well, I guess I'll just kind of I'm gonna hold off on it for now.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm probably gonna end up pre-ordering it anyway. Just I'll give them one more chance.
Yeah, I'm telling no one to go out and buy this. It's one of those ones where I only bought it because I've been saying if I could have a shotgun for a secondary weapon, I will come back to this game. And now I can have a shotgun for a primary weapon, so fuck it, I'm back.
I'm still holding out for them adding fucking cross-save, cross-play between the consoles and PC.
I've given up on the cross-save stuff. I think it's something they should have done, but I also don't think they're ever going to do it.
Because I mainly appreciate Seaside so much more.
I know you like it more. The community for it is bad.
Is it?
It's the worst of the Destiny communities.
What? I had nothing but good experiences playing.
It's way smaller than the other ones. Like, it's a dying community.
Oh, that's a shit. Well, it's dying because it's been shit. Like the
PS4 one's going strong, weirdly enough.
PS4 has the same kind of like Destiny 2 fanboy attachment that like Apple and some of those guys have. You have the hardcore Destiny crowd that will always continue to play Destiny.
Yeah, and they're on
PS4. It has that following.
That's what I'm saying, and they're on PS4. Most of the YouTubers went to PC and then went back to PS4. It's not even fanboys. It's just where the people are.
Well, that and they also lock out some content only to the PS4.
That's a separate topic.
Yeah. Well, then I don't know. I'm probably at a decided point where I don't know if I even want to get it then, because I'm honestly way more into the PC version than I am the console version.
Yeah.
To be honest, so I don't know.
I think cross-save with this would have been a good move. I think it would have been a really good kind of PR relations, kind of make the players feel better about things move, but, like, reality is they don't need to. Like, Warframe doesn't have cross-console saves either at this point. They had, like, a migration thing you could pay for at one point, I think, but that was a one-time move only. Like, the reality is, how many games actually have cross-console saves? Minecraft and Rocket League?
I mean, cross-platform saves or cross-platform playability?
Saves.
Saves? I don't know about saves.
That's,
to be honest.
That's what this would be.
I was hoping they'd just be able to merge it up so you can use...
Not a goddamn... That's what I'm saying. Like, be able to transfer your character from console to console. That's what a cross-console save is. Like, how many games actually even have that?
Well, not a lot of them, because a lot of them is just your progression carries over across the board without having to save and then go. Like, Fortnite is across the board pretty much the same account. So all the stuff you unlock on Fortnite on Xbox...
Okay, so that's one.
Right into the PC, no problem.
That's one.
Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and name a bunch of them.
That's what I'm saying. There aren't many.
That's what I'm referring to.
I can come up with 5, I think. Like, there's very few. And, like, the Fortnite one is because it's microtransactions. Imagine if you had to buy that stuff over and over from version to version. That would be a clusterfuck. Yeah, that's your Destiny 2 news of the week, though.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a breather for a second to stretch out, because that was more heated than I thought that was going to get. We dive into our main topic, which is E3 predictions.
Yeah, E3!
Yep. We're going to kind of go in order of press conferences. The EA one is actually happening while we're recording right now, so I've been very careful to avoid news sites and my kind of news update stuff, and it's killing me a little bit. What do you think EA's bringing this year? What does EA have to do for us to like EA or be happy or whatever?
They're gonna really, really fucking ride the idea that Battlefield, was it 5 or whatever,
Yeah.
is gonna be like all free maps and everything's purely cosmetic, but you can unlock everything just playing through your game. That's no longer pay to win. They're basically gonna like, we fucked up on Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
This is how we're gonna go about it, and they're literally gonna be like, this is what we're doing, and then EA is gonna be in this weird alternate universe where they are like kind of a good guy in this situation, but people are still a little like, I don't know, because obviously, you know, they've been hurt before. This is like, no, don't worry, baby, things will be different this time, is what EA is doing right now.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say like it'll be that, plus they're gonna fucking push Anthem so hard. I'm really counting on seeing a lot more Anthem stuff. Like that's what I'm excited about too.
I agree. I think we see a lot of Anthem. I think we see a lot of Battlefield 5. I will put money down that the words Battle Royale mode or something along those lines get mentioned in the first 10 minutes of the EA press conference.
They've already said Battlefield 5 is going to have a Royale
mode. No, they haven't.
What I've heard. No? Oh, no, I'm confusing that with the new Call of Duty.
Yep.
That's what it is.
I would assume Battlefield 5 has a Battle Royale mode in it. Like, that's a no-brainer. I think someone says Battle Royale in the first 10 minutes of the show. I want to say 5, except I think like they do that first like 5. They lose like 5 minutes of like, oh, we're EA, etc. Like, if it was straight into the games, I'd say first 5 minutes of the show. But no, it's first 10. I think they have a Star Wars game there. I'm assuming they shit talk the last year's Madden game because that's what they always do. What do you think we get for new names or new titles or like announcements?
I don't know. I'm kind of drawing blanks. I mean, obviously you're gonna have your EA games, sports stuff like
I wasn't counting
Madden.
Those.
Yeah, those are there.
Those will be there.
I don't know.
Well, because
to be honest, like
A Way Out did really well for them last year, so I think they might do another. They might have a couple more indie games to throw out or something. Like if they said a Dead Space remaster or something, or re-release for modern consoles, I wouldn't be totally surprised.
Yeah, that would work, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I can only think about the stuff I'm really caring about.
I could also believe that the entire press conference will be Battlefield 5, Anthem, like 10 minutes of here's some indie shit we're doing, and then sports games. Like if that's their conference, I wouldn't be totally surprised.
I don't know. I have a feeling they're really going to try to push Anthem.
No, I think Anthem
they have their sports,
majority of it.
You think the majority of it will be sports?
No, I think, but like the end of it's always sports. I think it's, I don't know. I think like Anthem has to be a big chunk of it. Like maybe they'll announce like a season 2 for Battlefield 2. I don't know. I think I'm just saying like the majority of it is Battlefield 5 or Battlefront. Yeah, Battlefield 5 and Anthem. Then you have like 10 minutes of indie. And then you have the sports stuff, and then they have some big wrap-up thing at the end. But yeah, I think I agree. I think the majority of it is Battlefield and Anthem. And that Star Wars game they keep talking about. I think that shows up for a minute or two.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm thinking, maybe this is just all super speculative at this point, but maybe some sort of, like, big update for Battlefront, too?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe? I think you get like a season 2 of Battlefront as part of, like, the other stuff we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that I could be... Oh, maybe rather, let me put it like this. There's nothing else that I would care about that I can think of.
I get that.
So,
ready for the next one?
Yeah, sure.
All right, Microsoft. Mostly because I'm looking at, like, we've seen a bunch of, like, delay notices about this. They're going to announce Crackdown 3 is delayed, which I think means there will be nothing for Crackdown.
Yeah, Crackdown 3 is just a meme at this point. It's been delayed again. Yep.
I think they try leaning real hard into the PUBG stuff, but I think that might be a mistake. That weird Hunger Games thing they showed off last year, that'll be back. Like last year they had that whole, like, they don't have Scorpio this year, so I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. I think we see a new Forza game of some kind. Cuphead 2?
Mm-hmm.
No, that sounds dumb.
No, Cuphead 2 that's a little far off. Or maybe they announced development of it, maybe, but not anytime this year.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna be up to. Maybe we see that like the HoloLens again.
Uh-huh.
That makes
I can
sense.
see that.
Like, do you think Halo 6 is there?
Ooh. If Halo 6, I would say like that's if that's what if that gets announced, whoever has been involved in that's kept that completely fucking silent
Yeah.
is fucking kudos to that team for not leaking out a single fucking thing about it. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm just kind of hold on. Do you think they'll have anything else for Sea of Thieves?
I think they have something for Sea of Thieves. I think they have that game service they're pushing right now. I bet they do something with that. I bet they announce some more backwards compatibility stuff. I don't even know what like maybe there's a new Gears of War? Like what are the Microsoft games at this point?
No.
Like
Fuck, what is Microsoft gonna do?
Yeah, I think Microsoft games are Gears of War, Halo, and Forza, and I think there'll be a new Forza something. I think we're due for Horizons now, but I don't remember how the order goes for that. And like, I think it's time to announce Halo 6, and it's been 3 years since the last Gears of War, so maybe there's that too. I don't know. I think they're gonna do their like last year the whole we announced 42 games and like that happened, but like a bunch of those 42 games were like, yup. Didn't play all 42 of them. Have no interest in 42 of them. Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I wonder if they're gonna pimp out some more of their Mixer stuff because they kind of did an overhaul on their stream platform.
Maybe
so I could see some stuff from Mixer being announced or put out there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe. Do you remember a long time ago they talked about kind of putting together this big esports or tournament big thing on Xbox Live? Did it? I don't think that ever went through. Did
Never
it?
happened.
Yeah. My guess is maybe they'll kind of throw that in there and integrate it with Mixer at some point. That's just obviously completely speculative because I have no basis for this, but I figured just pull something back and then kind of integrate it into Mixer. I think that'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, as far as other predictions, that's all I've got right now for that.
I suspect you and I will believe Microsoft had the weakest E3 press conference of the big three.
Probably, unless they completely fucking blow
our
minds.
That's not me being like, oh, I think it's being dismissive. It's just like, they haven't wowed me in several years. Next up, Bethesda. I think you obviously have Rage 2 there. You obviously have Fallout 76 there. Maybe you have something for Doom?
For which one? For who? Doom?
Yeah, maybe you have Doom too.
How long has it been since the last Doom?
Like 2 or 3 years.
That could be believable. That could be a thing, actually.
Yeah. You probably got something for Elder Scrolls Online. There's that space game that they keep talking about every once in a while. Maybe that shows up. I suspect.
Which space game?
I don't know what it's called. Like it's something leaked for it, and it gets like talked about every once in a while. It's been a rumor for a while now, like 3 or 4 years, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's a totally new IP. It's a spacebound thing. I don't know. I think Rage 2 and Fallout 76 is the majority of their show.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I can't think of anything else that would be like standing out. I agree.
Oh, I got one. Bethesda announces their own distribution platform.
No.
Yes.
You think?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, because they can integrate it with that fucking Bethesda Steamworks bullshit, whatever.
Mm-hmm. And really, how hard is it to make one of those things so you're not stuck giving Valve a chunk of your royalties?
Huh. I mean, I have too many fucking clients already.
I think you're gonna wind up with more by the end of the decade.
Fuck! I guess so. It is what it is at this point. But yeah, I don't know. That's a stretch, but I don't leave it past them to like. I I don't think I think past that one on.
If Activision will pull Call of Duty out of Steam and put it on the Blizzard launcher, fucking Bethesda can make their own storefront.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm intrigued on that one. That one really kind of catches my attention, to be honest, because I'm like, oh, it's going to be this shit again.
Yep.
Another client. To be honest, I don't really play a lot of Bethesda games as it is, so and maybe I won't have another client.
Yeah.
But yeah, other people out there, Bethesda, probably. And I think it'll be, what, you think Fallout 76 would be their first one that they introduced this new client into?
I think you come out with Rage. For the client, I don't know. Nah, I think your idea 76 would almost make sense to launch through that. I don't know, though.
But see, here's the thing, though. Ubisoft has their own client. I know, like, they have that thing, but it's still, you can still get their stuff through Steam. You just also have to download their client, add it to your account to run the game.
Yeah, but then also, like, once you have the client, once I had the client and had to have the client, I started using their client to buy stuff as opposed to Steam because it was like, fuck it, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just getting all bloated again.
Yep.
Oh, well. Yeah, that's an interesting prediction. I kind of like it, though. It's like, I don't know if they'll do it, but it is interesting to think about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's next? Who's next on the list?
Next up we have Square Enix. Kingdom Hearts, Tomb Raider, something about the Final Fantasy VII update, and that Marvel game they're making. I think that's what you get from them.
This is Sony, you said?
Square Enix.
Square Enix? No, Square Enix won't do Kingdom Hearts. Sony will milk the shit out of that.
I think Square Enix has Kingdom Hearts, because that's what it's previously been.
Well, I know it is, but like, oh, has it always been with Square Enix?
I think so.
Huh. I figured they'd be doing it since they have that exclusive lockdown with PS4, that they'd be like, oh, hey, Kingdom Hearts, guys. Put Kingdom Hearts. So
Sony's been kind of about like all their exclusives and stuff that they're doing. I don't know. You raise a fair point with that, but I don't know.
Huh. We'll see. But yeah. I think that would be it for sure, though. That definitely the what you had mentioned, the Tomb Raider and all that. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts, I can see that.
They don't have Hitman anymore, so they won't have Hitman.
Oh, that's right, they don't.
Yeah.
So, who has it now?
iOS. They're a separate company.
Oh, they broke off.
Yep.
Okay. I can't think of any other one.
All right.
Top of my head that'd be like, okay. But
All right.
yeah.
Ubisoft.
Well, obviously Assassin's Creed.
Yep. I think the Division 2 is there, and Skull and Bones, that pirate game they had.
Skull and Bones. Okay, I can see that. They're not going to do another South Park game. That already came out last year.
That didn't go great for them.
No.
I think maybe you're saying for Beyond Good and Evil 2. Maybe Watch Dogs?
Another Watch Dogs?
I don't know.
Watch Dogs 2 did not do well.
Watch Dogs 2 did very well.
Did it?
Yes.
I thought... Oh, I'm confusing it with 1. Because I know there's a lot of drama.
Watch Dogs 1 did very well.
What? Am I confusing it with another game?
Oh no, there was lots of controversy about Watch Dogs 1. It didn't stop it from doing well.
Okay.
Like, remember, they still, like, we are in that group that care about controversy. The majority of people don't give a fuck about Battlefront or Watch Dog 1's, like, controversy or shitty microtransactions or lying renders or shit like that. Like,
okay, fair enough.
they're gonna have Just Dance. Alicia Tyler will be there, because why not? There'll be something for Rainbow Six Siege. I want to say For Honor 2, but I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
No, For Honor's kind of been in an interesting place, as far as I know. Like, there's still people who play it.
Yeah.
And it's still being supported, which is kind of cool, but yeah, I can't think of anything else right now, or at least for For Honor.
I'm gonna say the Division 2 is the big surprise this year for them.
Yeah, I can see that. And there's also Division 2 was part of one of the leaks, wasn't it? Like,
I think it was just that it was confirmed it was happening. I'm not sure beyond that what's going on with it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can't think of anything else in particular right now.
Moving on from that, Sony.
Sony, also Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that. I'll give
Horizon
you this.
Zero Dawn 2?
So, I think the longest play stuff happens at Square Enix. I think they definitely have Kingdom Hearts in some way at Sony.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. There's no way they wouldn't make any mention of it.
Yeah.
What's it called? I think Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe just announce that it's being worked on. Not necessarily show anything for it, but like maybe even like say, hey, it's being worked on, and maybe you can like give you a little sample cinematic.
Yeah.
But no actual gameplay.
I agree with that.
I don't know. Sony's kind of like after the consoles get released, it's kind of a weird, quiet like.
My guesses are Horizon Zero Dawn 2, Death Stranding, the Kojima game, because they keep doing that every time they have anything going on. Spider-Man, something that comes out this year. Ghost of Tsushima, that samurai game they showed off. I think that's there. Last of Us 2, definitely. The biker zombie apocalypse game.
State of Decay?
No, it hasn't come out yet. It's got motorcycles. Whatever that game is, I think that game. The release date for that's been announced for next year, so they have a date, so they're gonna show it and try and get people excited about it. The They'll show that'll be where you get your Destiny 2 kind of deep dive presentation. Something with God of War, maybe, but probably not.
God of War? Oh, wait, hold on. Oh yeah, God of War. Yeah. For some reason, I thought Gears of War. I'm like, what?
No.
No.
I think they show.
I think it's too soon for God of War.
I don't know.
It's really soon. Like, how long did they take before they announced anything for the Horizon Zero Dawn expansion or the extra story?
That was the year later. That's the E3 after it came out. You're right. I'm not totally convinced they're going to add DLC to God of War though either.
No, but yeah, I don't think they'll have anything in particular. They might be like, yeah, I know you guys enjoyed God of War this year, and people go, ah, and then that'll be a thing.
Yeah, I think that's what I mean. They'll do something for God of War, being like, we fucking killed it with God of War, and we'd be like, yep, you were right.
Yeah, I anything off the top of my head I can think. I don't have anything else I can think of. That's the thing. Like, it's weird. Like, it's quiet right now.
Yeah,
for some of this stuff.
I think they'll show Anthem at Sony's press conference. Just like, yeah, it's coming to this too. We also have Destiny. Like I'm missing a real obvious one.
Ratchet and Clank?
Nah, maybe actually, yeah. Oh, the Spyro remastered. They're gonna show that.
Oh, okay. Isn't there a new Spider-Man game?
Yeah, I mentioned that already.
Okay.
In the things Charlie wants category, a new Killzone, but that's never going to happen.
Which one?
A new Killzone, but that's never going to happen. Like, it's weird. They've showed off some new stuff. Like, they have a new version of Tetris coming. They got this kind of... They're gonna have some VR stuff. I keep forgetting about the play. They showed off this new... They have this road to E3 thing they're doing where they're showing off a new game a day. They showed off a Tetris game. They showed off kind of a funky-looking horror game that's got some Twin Peak vibes. It's called, like, Twin Mirror or something. They have this, like, VR giant game where you kind of manipulate stuff. That's been the 4 they've shown off, or 3 they've shown off.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
No.
Now that I think it's been kind of. Am I wrong? Like,
quiet's the wrong word. It's just Pre-E. Like, it's just Pre-E, man. This is how it happens every year.
Yeah.
Well, so I kind of start wrapping this up some. Last but not least, Nintendo.
Definitely the fucking Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee.
Yep.
Fucking Smash Brothers for sure.
Yep.
Maybe the actual Pokemon game for Switch.
Oh, like an actual one?
Maybe just a name or something, but I think they have to do something with that. Some more Labo stuff. Maybe it's like they're getting Diablo 3 port to that, so maybe that.
Mm.
I don't think their version of Dark Souls is out yet.
Oh, really?
That got delayed.
That's true. Yeah, no, I can't think of anything. Nintendo. Nintendo's a weird one because everybody's always talking about like, oh shit, Nintendo.
Yeah.
I'm definitely thinking. Well, obviously, what's the paint game they do?
Splatoon that came out last year. I think we have another year before new Splatoon.
Okay, they might talk about it.
Maybe, sure. Yeah. Fucking Arms is gonna be there, brother.
Yeah, Oh yeah, Arms 2, baby.
Fuck that game.
Maybe announce. This is totally now speculative at this point.
That's what this has always been.
Special edition Switch that is kind of announced as a bundle for Smash Brothers. Considering they do that with the DS is so fucking often, where they're like, oh, special DS with the Zelda Shield. Would not surprise me if they got something that's like a special collector's edition of the Switch with Smash kind of embedding and things like that.
They've already done that, I think.
For the new Smash?
I think so.
I haven't seen anything about that. If they haven't, I'm sure they will. If they have, then good on them, I guess. It'd be a good way to get people to get that.
Yeah. Oh, I got one. We didn't mention Metroid Prime, I think, is there this year.
Really? Metroid Prime?
Yeah, Metroid Prime 4 coming. It's in development.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good one. So, yeah, I can't think of anything else in particular, but yeah, I think that would be a good one right there. I think that would pretty much be their whole show.
Yeah, well, they do that hour-long pre-recorded thing every year, so yeah.
There you go. When is Nintendo's conference? Actually, I gotta pull up the schedule and see when all the conferences.
We did have an order.
Today
Nintendo's is on Wednesday. EA's is happening now. Most of them happen on Monday. I think Bethesda and Microsoft happen tomorrow.
Okay. I will definitely be watching those and checking those out. But
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how many of our predictions actually come true.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a few of the given ones, but like the ones out there, like the Bethesda client or
10 minutes before Battle Royale gets mentioned.
yeah, that kind of stuff. So yeah,
Do I have anything else for Nintendo? Nah. Yeah.
I don't have anything else either.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some stuff right now. What's coming out right now? I happen to catch an eye, but looks like there's a.
Don't tell me.
Okay, I won't tell you then.
I want to go watch it in a couple minutes. But so I guess if that's it, we have no emails this week, or no emails we're going to read this week. I may have saved a couple for next week. I'm still mulling over one of them of whether or not I'll just respond to you offline or mention it in the podcast. But if you want to contact us, Alex, how do we go about doing that?
You can reach us at wickedawesomecast@gmail.com.
Again, wickedawesomecast@gmail.com. Spell as it sounds, down in the show notes, etc., etc. Have a good E3. May all your predictions come true and you be happy with what we see, and EA not totally fuck us this year.
Yeah, and if you're going to be at E3, I know I won't be there this year. I don't think Charlie's going to be there this year, so we won't be there, but we'll be watching all the news stuff. But since it is open to the public again, I'd like to just publicly say out there, you're there with fellow gamers. Be nice to each other.
At the same
We're all
time,
there
if you are there and you paid to be there this year, please send us an email describing how you feel about that, because I am curious.
Yes, I would love to hear about your experience. I mean, I'm an LA native, so I already know kind of the area and this and that, but I'd love to hear somebody who, like, I've gone there with industry, but I'd love to hear somebody who paid there to be there as just a public attendee. Let us know what your experience is like. We would love to hear from you. So, but yeah, overall though, just be nice to each other, folks. We're all there. We're all passionate about video games. Let's make a good impression. There's a lot of bullshit that happens, the stereotypes with the gaming industry and the people that follow it. But let's be good to each other, dudes. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Nothing about Pimp before we close it out this week?
I've got nothing to pimp right now, considering I did my, I'm getting packed up right now. But if you want to check me out, I do have some old stuff I obviously uploaded and some old stuff I, streamed. But if you want to check out my social media and follow my adventures, you can find me on Mave Online, MAVE Online, all together, no spaces, no hyphens or underscores, on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, yeah.
Obviously, my arm is getting in the way of me doing basically anything, so I'm not going to lie about even doing anything on the studio this week, but that's still in progress. No videos, etc., etc. Podcast, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah. You want to take us out this week?
Sure, I'll take us out.
Cue the metal.